So I'm going to start off with the eyes. I'm going to take my Morphe 35O palette, and I'm using this color in the first row as my transition color. And I'm just going to be kind of speeding through the eyes, but then I'm going to take this kind of grayish color from my Morphe palette, and I'm going to blend that into my crease. And then I'm going to take the lightest matte color in the palette, and I'm going to put that on my lid and blend it all out. And you could really do whatever eye look you want with this, but I kind of want a cool toned eye since we want to look a little bit dead. And then I'm taking this dark brown from the palette and also darkening up my crease with that. And then I'm going to make sure everything is blended out nicely. So I'm going to be doing kind of a dramatic long wing, and I'm using the NYC liquid liner. Then I'm going to curl my lashes and use some mascara to prep them for falsies. I'm using the Covergirl Lash Blast Mascara. Then I'm using these bomb lashes from Amazon. I'll leave them in a link down below, but they're only like $12 and they're really, really big and fluffy and dramatic. And then I'm just going back and darkening up my crease a little bit more. So then I'm using this nude eyeliner from Colourpop, and I'm tracing out where I want the mouth to be. You can make it bigger or smaller depending on what you want, but I'm just going from my ear down to my chin and up to my other ear, and then just making sure it's the size that I want it to be. And then I'm taking these cotton balls and liquid latex from Ben Nye, and I'm just going to be tearing apart the cotton balls, and that's going to make like the flesh of the mouth. So then I'm just painting the liquid latex onto my face, and it smells terrible. And I'm just working a little bit at a time because it dries kind of fast. But just tear up the cotton balls and kind of place them on, and then begin to rip it downwards, like pulling little strands out. And I just keep piling on the liquid latex and then pulling more cotton down on top of it. And just working like with a little bit of cotton at a time works way better. And then just keep pulling them up the sides of your cheeks until your mouth is as big as you want it to be. And once you get the hang of it, it's way easier. I just learned it from watching a bunch of special effects videos on YouTube, and at first it was kind of awkward and felt weird, but once you start doing it, it's way easier. And then I'm taking these red and black grease paints, and I'm doing this after I get started on the cotton because it's easier for liquid latex to stick onto clean skin. But I'm just taking this little concealer brush and kind of painting in where the open spots are of the cotton. And try to get all of the little open spots because we are going to be going in later again, but it's just easier to tell where the open spots are when it's dark underneath. But then I'm just going over the black with the red grease paint. I like mixing them because the red is a bit too vibrant and then the black on its own is a bit too dark, so mixing them gets a nice dark red color. And then once I have that base of the color down, I'm just going in with more cotton and adding more of those little flesh strands and adding more onto the sides of my cheeks. And I like to use my nails to pull them apart and make sure that there's open spaces still. And then don't forget to keep the strands open when you start to move up towards your ears. And then I'm going back in with the paints and just adding a bit more to any spots I might have missed. So now I'm going to be moving on to my foundation, and I'm using the Makeup Forever Mattifying Primer, and then I'm mixing a couple different foundation shades to get a color that's a couple shades lighter than my skin tone, because we are going to be like a dead kind of zombie thing. But if you just want to use your normal foundation, then do so now. Then I'm going to be concealing under my eyes with the LA Girl Pro Conceal in the color Light Ivory. And then I'm going to set my under eyes with some translucent powder. So then I'm going to take a small stippling brush and start to buff some foundation onto the cotton, and make sure all the latex is dry before you start doing this. So for the foundation, I decided I wanted a consistency that was a bit thinner. So I went in with the Smashbox BB water and finished filling in the face. And this part I actually ended up cutting off once it dried because I didn't like the way it turned out. But I added some liquid latex to the edges kind of to blend it into my skin later. But yeah, I ended up taking it off because I didn't like how the foundation sat on top of it. But I thought I would show you guys anyways. So then I took a smaller brush and I just filled in those strips and any other spots that needed a bit more detail work. And then I just did my eyebrows super quickly, and for the front half of my brows, I used the Anastasia Beverly Hills Brow Definer. And then to finish the rest of my brows, I used the Benefit, I don't know what it's called, but it's the little pomade that comes with the brush. And then once I'm done, I'm just going to set the rest of my face with the MAC Studio Fix powder. So then I'm going to take the Anastasia Beverly Hills Contour Kit, and I'm going to take the middle shade and I'm going to contour just right above the mouth a bit. And then I'm also dusting some onto my temples and my nose. And then since I am a glam zombie, I still want to be highlighted. Of course, I'm taking the Gerard Cosmetics highlighter in the color Grace and just dusting it on my cheekbones, a bit on my forehead, and my nose. So then I'm taking that grayish color again from my Morphe palette, and I'm just going to smoke that out under my eyes. And then I'm taking that light bone color that I put on my lid and just dusting that under my brow bone. And then with a more defined brush, I'm going to take that darkest color again and run that right under my lash line. And then I'm also going to take that lightest color and put that in my inner corner too. So then I'm going to be taking this black eyeliner from Nars and running that in my waterline. I don't usually use black eyeliner in my waterline, but I really liked it for this look. And then I'm taking that brush again and making sure everything's all blended out. And then I'm fixing my eyeliner because it was driving me crazy the whole time, and making sure the line is all even and going over my lash band. And then I'm taking the red paint again, and I'm going to fill in the little empty spaces again now that everything's all dry and the foundation's on there. And then I'm also going to take the black paint again and darken everything up. So then, if you can tell, I'm kind of extending those gaps. I'm bringing the darkness up a bit higher and taking it a bit lower so that those gaps look really dramatic. And then I'm taking the Ben Nye Thick Blood, and I love this stuff because it never fully dries. It just stays kind of jellyish. And so I'm going to be putting that in the gaps and then putting it on the flesh right around it. And I'm really putting this stuff on heavily because I want you to be able to see the shininess of the blood. And again with this, I'm taking it up higher on the gaps and a bit down lower. And I did use my finger a lot to make sure that the cotton stayed in place. And it did take me a while to do this, so just take your time adding the blood on, and I think it looks good to really goop it on, so that's what I'm doing. And again, make sure you're filling in all the gaps on your face, not just the ones that you can directly see. If you made some up high by your ear, then make sure you fill those in all the way. And so then I just finished off the eyes really quick with another coat of mascara. And then I did put a lot on the bottom lashes. And at this point, I did cut off that extra latex and fix my foundation. And then I just swirled a bit of mauve eyeshadow onto my cheeks and on the flesh just to make it look a bit bruised. And adding the bruising also helped blend it all together. And then we're all done, so thank you guys so much for watching. I had so much fun making this, and don't forget to give it a thumbs up if you like it, and subscribe if you want to keep seeing more Halloween videos.